You've seen my junk. Now, let's look at your junk. I'm going to head to Athens, Georgia and take a look at the Star Wars collection. And I want you to come along with me. Come on, let's go.
I woke up near Rittenhouse Square. There was noise in the hall, snow flowing in the air, and I could see just then the flashing spark of the match to my first smoke. Some houses are built to last. As the people inside they change too fast. I can see their faces looking through the glass, and not where they belong.
This is the hallway. I mean, it fills
better.
about 4 or 5 different rooms. So you just tell me what you want, what you don't want.
I just want to see about everything you've got.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I don't know how.
This is pretty cool right here.
This is 1980s.
Yeah, that's the
This
inner
is
diecast. I mean, micro collection.
Right, the micro. Yep, before micro machines came out. Exactly.
I believe some of those troopers are the mail-away troopers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were. So, and of course, you had the choice of buying each playset separate, or you could buy, what was called Hoth World all together.
Right, you can buy them all three and then put them all together.
Actually, all 4. You
Four,
have
that's
the
right.
big, the turret, the shield generators, and Hoth. Now, of course, I've actually spent money buying, a lot of these because, for instance, you only get one Luke. Well, I bought another
I
Luke.
got another one in the back right there.
Yep. Just so that people could see the differences.
Right.
Is this something that you have in your house?
I've just really started kind of getting into the diecast stuff.
Right. Just feel how heavy that.
Yeah. I've got the Falcon and
Oh, you're
that?
lucky. Is it complete? Are you missing any figures?
It's missing some of the stuff to it, but
Okay, you're talking about the 1980.
yeah, the little diecast and the micro
Yeah,
machine.
I might have an extra Hans or a Lando for you.
I think I got a Lando.
Okay, we'll check. I'll let you
Okay.
show you what I've got. Yep. What I like about this is you can press that button and it blows up. I mean, this can actually come apart completely if you want.
That's
You can
right.
press the button here, it blows up the generator. You can blow up both of these and the cannon go off. You can press that button. There's a soldier inside there.
Okay.
You can move this. The doors close.
Yeah,
And
I had the Bespin World as a kid and a couple of the other ones.
Okay, well,
The
I've got
Death Star.
Bespin with me too.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So I never really. I think I had this one as a kid, but I didn't have the whole world.
And what you see in the hallway, what I like to tell people
Yeah.
is that this gives you an idea of what the 94 version looks like to more the present day.
Okay.
Because you will see the 80s stuff, but I don't let them see the light of day. They're someplace else. So you don't see
yeah, I understand that.
right. But you've got, this is collection number 1 of the 2001 figures. And what they started doing is they started making them look more human, more realistic.
Yeah, they started getting a little better with that line.
Right. And what they also started doing is this stormtrooper here has a swivel arm. That's what they now
More joints.
right. Their whole body's not moved like a G.I. Joe figure yet, not like what we get into with the Black Series stuff.
Right.
And then of course down here are some of my favorite Black Series.
Okay, the old Black Series cards.
Yep.
Okay, that's a nice setup.
Yep. I bought some of these, but I had a friend buy me a lot of them.
Well, that's always good.
It is. Yeah.
What TIE fighter is that? I'm trying to remember.
That is the scale. That's when they started making the vehicles actually to scale, if that makes sense. The cool thing about the collection too that I like is there are 2 figures that I love about this collection. The first one is this is the first time you get the Rebel Trooper in film form, if that makes sense. They made one in 95, 96.
That was
but
muscly, yeah.
Right, muscle, yeah. And
That's the one I have.
Right, this is the first time IG-88 would get his own card. Because in the 19 97, the only way to get him is if you got him with the Boba Fett card.
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, that's right. And then you'll see him. He's on the wall near you. Then you get into...
Well, see, I had all of these, and I sold them probably in the early 2000s.
Right.
And now I wish I didn't.
Yeah,
I had all the orange cards.
Yep, 1994, 95, we get into the orange cards. And again, you and I were just talking about how muscular. I mean,
Right.
That's a He-Man figure. You know, that's like Prince Adam.
Yeah, I never got it.
Luke Skywalker.
Well,
Right. You know, Lando, let's make him look big. Chewbacca, that actually looks pretty good.
yeah, I was always that kind of happy with the Chewbacca
Right,
one.
exactly. The
Trooper,
Stormtroopers, not really. I mean, yes, they were.
I think Leia might have been the worst.
Yes, yep. Although this is the first time you'd ever get the slave Leia.
Yeah.
Now, if you notice, they went from, and this is why I have this cards here, because I want people to see the red cards, but then you get into, you have the holographic, then they put it in the green package, kept holographic, then a radar.
So you bought one of
there, yep.
each.
Yep. This is, I actually found this at a convention. This is a
Tri-Logo?
card. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I have an ATSC that you'll see that's like that. And then, of course, you get into, after they kept re-releasing these figures, they finally went back in 98, 99 and came up with the Power Force, the black cards, and they started making them posable, legs, one. And then they really tried to focus more on the face, which I also appreciate.
Yeah, this was always one of my favorite 3POs they've
Yep, that
done.
was one of the best. Now, of course, they made an Empire Strikes Back 1980s one that you could take apart too. Yep, which you'll see.
Yeah, I like that one because it was that first one where they really made it dirty looking.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, of course, this is after Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
This is during Attack of the Clones. They kept all the same packaging. How confusing is that?
Yeah.
But then they threw in the figures, and you really had to look at.
They kind of do that with the newer ones too, where they put, Last Jedi in a little corner, and then it'd be the same car, but once they Last Jedi, and it really gets kind of.
Exactly. What I like about this one is it looks a lot more human than the one that came out by Kenner in 1983.
Oh, Imperial Dignitary. I didn't even. Yeah, that was.
That was the most pointless figure I think in Star Wars. Now this is a Cantina figure that they never made.
That's right. Yeah.
Back in the Kenner line.
Close-ups there.
Yeah. And I love how this is what gets me. As small as he is, this is the first fully posable figure they come up with. Now let me show you all
the
with
B-wing.
this. This is the B-wing.
B-wing's
On the
one
back of this.
of my favorites.
Yep. Visit. V-I-S-I-T, right? Boom. Typo.
Man.
Collector's item right
Yeah, I always go when you get a typo.
It really is. What I like about this dewback is most of the sand troopers actually got paint from the dewback, and that's because they put in the box before the paint was dry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now this is an actual 1983 model biker scout and speeder bike, still in package.
Man.
Vintage. Yep. I mean, that's a full antique right there.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of interesting. The reason why I have the Jeff Gordon car here is that when he autographed this car, I actually did the Pepsi promo with him in my Stormtrooper outfit.
Oh, really?
Yep,
That's
so I
cool.
took the car to him and he actually signed it. And of course, you get this was the Walmart exclusive with Han Solo. The only way to get him in Tauntaun was at Walmart. And that was one of the first exclusives Walmart would ever get.
That's the first time I think I've seen the 501st Trooper.
Yep.
That's a nice looking trooper too.
That is fully detailed, fully posable. The Scout, fully detailed, fully posable. You know, the Shadow of the Empire Luke. Anytime they can put Luke in a bad guy's armor, I don't know why, but it's like, heck yeah.
You gotta get it.
Yep. And of course, you get a man-to-man. You get the Princess Leia bikini with the blaster. A much better version than the...
That was a lot better one than you
right.
got.
But this is my favorite Jawa of them all. You invested in the barge, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So, and then of course, you get your collection 2 again. They made more figures in the collection 2 than they did in the collection 1 series. I love the chest. That's my favorite. It's the chest piece or pieces. And then of course, I actually like the royal guard in the cloth cape. The guy who is in the 501st, his name escapes me at the moment, Doug Bartlett. George Lucas saw his armor, loved the paint scheme so much that they took a snapshot, and that's Doug Bartlett there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's...
Yep. A lot of people don't know that. One of my friends found that and actually painted it. I have 2 sets of armor. I have my Stormtrooper, then I have a Sand Trooper, and she painted my that figure to look just like my armor, which I thought was really cool.
That's
Really good. That was a Christmas gift from her about 2 or 3 years ago. One of my best friends. And then another one of my dear friends sold me all her Star Wars books. So it does work. The cool thing, again, going back into the museum guy and me having a history degree, is I wanted to show people, one, what Bespin looked like as far as the 1980 figures compared to the 1995 Micro Machine figures. Now notice this is Darth Vader. In the 95 they came up with just the land bases with figures, and then they're like, you know what, Transformers is becoming popular again, so why don't we take him transform? So that would actually transform into Darth Vader itself. But if you notice, if you look carefully, you can send that Luke out the window. You got Luke going out the window. You turn this down, that's Han Solo and Carbonite going up and going down. And as you know, that's Han Solo and Carbonite going up and going down. So it's basically the exact same toy as all 3 of these together.
Right. Just
you know, I think, yeah, the detail's great, but as you and I have talked about, there are just way too many Vaders.
There is.
And
Vader
way too
and
many Lukes.
Luke, that's about all it was. Vader and Luke.
Right.
Vader and Luke.
That's right. Now, this is the Lando Millennium Falcon. You have the kneeling Chewbacca. You've got a princess. I have different Princess Leia's. So, and you've got Luke that can hang on to the Millennium Falcon too. This is kind of a cool story piece because this is a Disney exclusive, and this figure came out 6 months before Toys R Us went out of business.
Oh, really?
So it was originally a Toys R Us exclusive.
Okay.
But they didn't release them all because they would have to sell those things on clearance. So Toys R Us kept them in their warehouse and sent them back to Hasbro. And then once Disney went out, you get this is the vintage Jawa, the vintage Gaunt Droid, vintage C-3PO, vintage R5D4. But then again, and the vintage C-3PO.
You kind of mix them all together. I know some collectors like I don't mix them, and then some people mix them.
Well, I mix them because I want people to see the differences in the figures.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
You know, because to me, in order to appreciate the 80s figures, you have to see how they look now.
Right.
You know, and in some ways, they're a little bit more detailed, but then in other ways, I still think in a lot of ways the vintage figures look better. Yeah. I can't tell what that's made out of. It feels like metal, but it's too light to still be.
That's how I was going to say. It felt like it, but it feels really light.
Yep. 3D printable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have a friend who 3D printed.
Man, that's cool,
then.
man.
Yeah, it is. It is. I found this, and it just came with a few hodgepodge. Then I had to go on eBay and really do my research first. Yeah. And the hardest part is trying to find all of these, but these have never been cut. The escape pod actually goes with that sandcrawler, but you see how I did it. Notice how he's looking.
They're looking over there.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
You have the 1977 Dewback, 1977 Stormtrooper with the 2012 Dewback on Stormtrooper.
Yeah, that's a really good setup right there.
Yep. Look, Sir Droid, you know. Besides the Stormtrooper are the Bounty Hunters. I love the Bounty Hunters, so I have all 5 of them together. Everybody says, where's Spet? You gotta do Endor.
Oh yeah.
The 1983 Ewok Village. Yep. That's a 1983 ATST. And again, you have vintage mixed with some more modern figures because, again, I want people to see the differences. I think it's important that they know, you know, how things progressed. Right. So, folks, if you look, you can see that vintage speeder bike, his legs go straight up. If you look at the 2014 speeder bike, you'll see where his knees bend. The proper way of actually flying one. Now, can you look at Leia's blaster from 1983? A lot smaller.
A lot thinner.
Yeah. So I find it interesting. You have a blaster that's almost way too small for her, and then in 1997 they made one that's way too big.
We intercept your Earth broadcast in the name of the Galactic Empire.
Man, Jeremy's collection is something, isn't it? Thought I had a lot of junk. Man, he's got a lot of cool, nice junk. Don't worry, we're going to get right back to Jeremy's collection soon. But do you like this new series I'm working on? If so, I need your help. I have a big list of collectors out there that want to show off their Star Wars collection, their Funko collection, their video game collection, their Transformer collection, Superpowers collection, action figure collections, all kinds of collections. But I need your help to make this series work. What do I need? Well, I need two things. First, I need help with funding. Sorry, I hate bringing that up, but I do. I need gas, lodging, because I don't want to just do this series in my location. I want to move all across America and more. And I need your help. For a pledge of $10 a month or more on Patreon, anything $10 or more will be set aside for this series only. And being a supporter of Patreon, you get a lot of exclusive content. Like you get to listen to me do commentary of each one of these videos and my other videos, plus bloopers, outtakes, and a longer cut. Believe me, there's a lot being cut out of this video to keep it down to about 30 minutes. But if you don't want to do a monthly support, you can go to Gofundme, where you can just donate 50 cents, $1, I don't care, whatever. All that money will be set aside so we can fund the collector's room. And I can get out there. I don't have to just stay local, and I can show off the collection. So what else do I need from you? Well, if you collect something, again, doesn't have to be Star Wars or old Star Wars. It can be new Star Wars. If you collect Ernest Borgnine toenail clippings, I want to see it. If you collect TV Guide, I want to see it. If you only collect things related to Red from Fraggle Rock, I want to see it. So email me. All the information you need is in the description below. The Patreon link, the GoFundMe link, and my email link. So let me know what you collect. Because I got to get a list up, start trying to plan everything, what I want to see. Again, not just Star Wars, not just toys. If you collect something pop culture related, I want to see it. Now, let's go back to Jeremy's collector's room.
And of course, this is a 1977 original.
I had that. I want to.
And the thermos is still in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back. I got Empire, and I'm trying to pick up the other
Gotcha.
The other ones now.
And my favorites are still to this day the 12-inch of the Luke and the biker scale and speeder bike. You have Dagobah.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. You put that on.
Yep. You know, to make it look like that crashed into the swamp. I am trying to build this diorama up. That is the 1983 Y-Wing. I got that in 1983 during Easter. That was my Easter gift. Yep. So, and then of course that is the 1977 Death Star.
I love the Death Star.
Yep, with the monster inside of it, which is very rare to find. Yes, that is the skiff from 1983, folks.
Oh, man. Because I've got the reissue one that Hasbro did, just because I couldn't find that vintage one. That is.
Yeah, you and I just.
That's like one of my Holy Grail pieces.
Yep. Yep.
That is nice.
This is my own figure. Turn it around.
Mesh. Oh, okay. That's pretty.
I had a friend make me that.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Now, there were two different transports that were made in 1980. You had the one that would be found all over that would make 4 or 5 different noises. You press all these buttons, they'd all make noise. Then you had the Sears exclusive. The Sears exclusive had all the red knobs, but only 2 of them would press. The rest of them were stationary. What I find interesting is that this is called the Imperial Transport. If you watch Empire Strikes Back, you see it on Hoth and the Rebel base. You don't see it.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's I don't know why they call it Imperial when it was Rebel Hoth that had it. And of course, this is the 1977 Millennium Falcon. I have the box for it. You got the this is the 1995 Snowspeeder. This is the 1980 Hoth with AT-AT. a KB exclusive purely by mistake. This is actually supposed to be a Toys R Us exclusive, but the warehouses stuck them on the KB trucks and sent it to KB instead. So KB, when you originally got these, you were going to pay $80 to $90, but because they didn't belong to KB, they were selling them for $25.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they were by 20 a piece.
That's right. That's right. I love the band. You get the two different.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
I didn't know they make two different ones.
That's right. Well, in this package, they came originally with this figure here. Somebody, I think, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like nobody opened it, but it looks as if it was a factory mistake.
Huh.
Yeah. Tri-logo ATST. And tri-logo, of course, means 3 different languages. And I love the Black Series.
Yeah, that's another one I've been meaning to pick up. And
then, of course, you get your 2 different versions of the Banthas.
That's not an electronic one, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is, huh?
I mean, it doesn't walk, but it makes tons of noises and it lights up, all sorts. And you can put your hand here and you move it, and when you move it, the head turns. That sort of thing.
Kids had a lot better than we did.
Yep. But the thing is that these were harder to play with, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one you could take outside and throw it around, kick it around, and it still worked the next day.
Exactly. And this is a 2012 snow speeder. I do plan on eventually, when you come back and you want to take more pics, we will have the snow speeders, I promise you, up and running. So this whole thing will be. I mean, this is the 1997 Imperial Pro Droid. People are probably wondering that's the vintage one.
Yeah, that's another place that I wasn't ever a big fan of. This one I had and it was fun, but that one.
Yeah, no. Right. And you can pretty much see the way that I have it set up. The rebels are pretty much going to be annihilated.
Okay, so you got the mini rigs too.
That's right. You have this is supposed to be another vehicle for the AT-AT driver to drive. No, mini rig. This small satellite cannon is that's the 1995 version. This is the 1980 version.
Yeah.
Luke's X-Wing. Yet, the thing is that he's built into it.
Oh, is he? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I remember when he came out, but I didn't realize he was built in.
Right, so you couldn't take him out. He was built into it. Which collectors did not.
Oh, Power of the Force too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so I don't have much carded stuff. And there's the Imperial Dignitary.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I have this figure. There he is. Yep.
These are the autographed ones. Peter Mayhew and...
Yeah, I actually took them to Peter Mayhew and Anthony Daniels at Dragon Con many years ago. And Anthony Daniels signed it, really didn't care about it. But Peter Mayhew looked at me and he goes, "Are you sure you want me to sign this and not put it on a piece of paper?" He said, "Because it'll diminish." I'm like, "Look," I said, "this is for my own person."
Yeah, right, it's for you.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Some collectors are going to say, "Well, the card's been damaged." Others are going to look at it and want it because they're both unpunched and they have the autographs on them. So, I mean, it's a harder one, if that makes sense.
I actually had the early bird longer saber, and it broke.
Oh,
it broke. I was so mad. I know.
Those are worth more than the.
Yeah, I bought it probably in the late '90s. I don't know. It was in a case, and I looked in there one day, and the saber, the tip was broke off, laying in the middle.
Ooh. Are you able to fix it?
No, I wasn't. Oh, the blue. Snaggle.
Yeah, because if you look, the vintage Jawa is brown, and that's more of a reddish brown, and his cape actually matches his arms better.
Right. Oh. It does.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Teeth and no teeth.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're the first person who notices that. Yeah.
Now what is? Not to get ahead of you, but
No. That's the. That is the Tri-Logo Boba Fett. Are you familiar with the Tri-Logo?
I'm not an expert on, but I know.
Tri-Logo.
I thought the figure didn't look any different. His face looks different.
Exactly. The Tri-Logo, his torso was painted, but if you look at his arms and legs and helmet, notice the rest of him is gray, but his torso is blue.
I knew he was a little. I've never seen him in person. I never realize it was that much of a difference.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, that's a look at Jeremy's collector's room. Man, can you believe it? He has 3 vinyl Kate Jawa action figures. 3. Well, I'll probably never have one myself, but at least I can say I held one. He has a lot in his collection. And one thing I like, this isn't a knock on grading, but I like that he has his figures all set up and not graded. I like touching. I like displaying a figure. Even his carded stuff's not graded. Again, I'm not busting on you if you grade. I can understand why people grade. Insurance purposes, to keep it mint, stuff like that. It's just a personal preference to me. If I'm looking at a collection or it's my collection, unless it's extremely rare item, I'm not going to grade it. But again, that's just me. All collectors are different. But he has a really nice setup. What do you think about him mixing the vintage and the new stuff together? I've talked to a lot of collectors. Some of them don't like to mix. Some of them like to mix. I love his point where it kind of shows the progression of Star Wars action figures. He has a Jawa from 1978, and then a Jawa from the middle 90s, and then a Jawa later in the 2000s. Kind of showing how the Jawa has changed over the years. And other figures. I want to thank you for watching this new series, and mostly I want to thank Jeremy for allowing me into his home to look at his Star Wars collection. Very impressive. And again, I hate doing this part of the video, but I need your help. I need to know where to go look at collections, and I need help with food, lodging, and more. Please, I've got some other ones in the works, but this is a test show, and I promise the audio will get better going forward. I know. I didn't know every time I touched that camera it would pick up sound. Don't know, never had that problem before. So I apologize for the bad audio in this one. This, of course, is a test video. Everything's getting better. But again, I need your help. So go to patreon.com or Gofundme. Both links are in the description below. And if you collect, email me where you are in America and what you collect. I'd love to take a look at your junk. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back very soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.